Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Legend of Vox Machina episode 8. Last week on episode 7 of Vox Machina, we had a bunch of flashbacks, found out a bunch of information, had a really cool sequence with Percy telling us about his history and the founding of the first pistol, met Professor Anders a bunch, and investigated the Scanbow incident, which was all really wonderful. While there were some changes to the Scanlan stuff, I don't mind them at all. I think they managed to capture the energy of Scanbow, and that's really mostly what I care about. We had some awesome flashbacks to Whitestone, Cassandra, really setting up all of Percival's emotional attachments in this town, and also his revenge attachments in this town, and some of the people that he desperately wants to kill. And we ended off with a raid on one of the major estates, in an attempt to rescue Cassandra, the Kestrel, and spy and lead infiltrator and I suppose informant of the resistance in Whitestone. And it didn't go so well because Percy burst into a room to find Professor Anders with a knife to her throat, and Anders, without remorse, sliced her neck open, and we watched as Cassandra bled out on the floor, reaching toward her helpless brother once again. Excellent! Yay! Woo! Murder! Death! Evil! All these things are great in this situation. Villains who feel villainous is wonderful. It's doing a really good job of that because Matt's pretty good at that. And these villains have been really villainous from the beginning, and it's how they work as characters, and I really, really like it. I don't know exactly where we're going to go from here because there have been some changes in the course of events. Some things are going to be different, but I'm excited to see what Vox Machina pulls, what's going on with Pike, what's going on with the rebellion. Things are now afoot, and so things should start happening quickly right now. But what the reveals will be and what all the scares will be and all the cool things and all the options and all the possibilities, I don't quite know. So, we are ready to go for episode 8, but I want to talk about a couple of comments, and I want to talk about a couple of other things as well. So let's do comments first. First off, I'm going to go back to episode 6 for a couple. Dependu Gaming writes, Sam mentioned in an episode discussion video that all of the characters have been leveled down a bit to keep a better power balance because Vox Machina was very powerful around this time and was decked out with magic items. I feel Mighty Nine never reached that power level, I agree, so it will make sense if the villains are modified too. About the Vax and Scanlan cut, it makes sense. They cannot include all of those side conversations and messing around that we see in D&D party due to time constraint. Of course. They've got hours and hours per video per episode in the normal campaign, and they've got 20 minutes per episode in this. So yeah. Also, Trinket was with them during the Whitestone arc. So sad that they left him behind, and it didn't affect a darn thing. Interesting. No, I kid, but yeah, I think it's a good move that they left him behind because now they don't have to animate a bear all the time, and that's really valuable. There is also a comment from Ash, who writes, you say that Scanlan is the clear, undoubtable leader. I can't tell how serious you were being since I haven't watched the OG campaign, so I'll assume you were 100%. Scanlan in this animated series definitely feels in no way like a leader. He feels like a wannabe leader. In fact, the only character that feels leader-esque in this animated series is Vex. Super fair. So saying there is no doubt in Scanlan being the leader feels like a very biased, based on the campaign assumption, and I don't think it is reflective of the current state of the party in the show. Yeah. Oh, okay. I gotta take a step back, and I gotta be completely honest. In some ways, the Scanlan is the leader line is a meme. It's a little bit of a meme. It's a little bit of a joke. I do think that it becomes true over the course of the whole show. I really do think that post some things happening, Scanlan really truly does become the undeniable leader of the party, both in combat and out when it comes to making decisions and not being the party face, and otherwise Scanlan becomes the leader. Vex is the more leadery character for sure, and the truth is that what they all do when they all look around and they're all like, I think we just like our democracy or something, is exactly the way that the campaign actually works. Saying that Scanlan is the leader is kind of a meme, but it is a meme that I believe in and I want to believe in. So I apologize for any confusion that I've caused by that, but yeah. Gilsunt Medina writes, of course the Briarwoods are hot AF. They are evil, parentheses, arguably hotter, Travis and Laura. Ugh, so hot. Yeah, no, true. And Jeffrey Meehan writes, the cast has stated how much they love how this series is able to show what is going on amongst the NPCs and antagonists during some key points. After all, up until this point, none of them got to see it because the PCs weren't there to directly witness, and so it was all just inside Matt's head until now. Matt also has said that the show allows them to give NPCs a little bit more importance and agency, because in a D&D game, you want to make sure the vast majority of the spotlight is, of course, on the PCs and the decisions they make. The comment goes on, but that's the part that I want to focus on here, and I think it is wonderful. I think it's great that we get to see those NPC stuff. I know that I, as a dungeon master, I'm constantly thinking about what my NPCs are doing, and what major actors and even minor actors are doing over the course of our campaign and throughout it. And the decisions that they make are influenced by the characters, and the decisions that they make change the nature of the world, keeping the world alive to some extent and making it feel like things are constantly changing, and having notes for like how things have changed when characters leave town for a couple days and come back or things like that is really important. With my particular party, it's really, really important because they have employees and they own a tavern. And so the nature of the tavern and having either random tables or specific events that I expect to be occurring, for, you come back to the tavern, and when you come back to the tavern at 7 p.m., it's fucking bonkers crowded and you're not sure why. And the answer is because there's some festival, like minor festival with like dock workers, and they all rushed to your tavern and ate your food and drank your booze, right? I think that's really important to have as a DM, and being able to see that in the perspective of the show is really, really cool, and I like it too, and I agree with you. Okay. The last one that I want to talk about comes in from Bill DeWitt on episode 7 itself. Not much to say on the episode. Agree with most everything. Blah, blah, blah. Fight scenes were back to full glory. Blah, blah, blah. Great. I think I understand what you mean by gods in D&D now. Rather than D&D must have gods, D&D was designed with the intent of gods existing, which is more pretty undeniably true. Great. I'm glad we've like figured it out and talked it out. So good. Communication. It's valuable, especially when you're in conflict with somebody about your perspective on something. You can usually talk it through and it's fine. I would have speculated that Percy's sixth barrel was for himself, but you seem to imply otherwise, so maybe for whatever being inspired his gun ideas, if that was a conscious creature, or maybe for the sun tree, as there seems to be something wrong with it. Those are what's going through my mind right now. I will reveal nothing to you, Bill. I will reveal nothing. Also goes on to say, I feel like I would actually really like Scanlan's suboptimal plays. Perhaps it's because my groups tend to be really good with tactics and strategy, but I really like when players deliberately take actions which aren't the best because it suits their character. Goes on to talk about that and give some specific examples, which is awesome. And then goes on to talking about giving potions and limited use items, as well as cool joke items and the creativity that characters can get up to. All of this is a great discussion. Go and find Bill DeWitt's comment on episode 7 and give it a like. It's a good comment. I'm going to like it. Boop. In fact, I'm going to heart it. Let's go. Good job, Bill. Another comment for the books. And I think that's it for Comment Spotlight. Before we get into the episode itself, I think we've talked about what happened last time, and we've talked about comments that I wanted to talk about. Wonderful. I've got a couple of things to shout out, and I'm going to put these in the chapterization so that people hopefully see them, because I think it's really important that I tell people about it. And you people who are watching me talk about D&D and also watching me talk about this show are the prime audience that I want to reach with this information. So, some of you may be aware, I don't think any of you are aware, but recently, over the past week or so, I have started posting character builds, Dungeons & Dragons character builds, on my second channel. It used to be Teeaboo 2, now it's T&D, T-E-E ampersand D. I decided that T-E-E-N-D doesn't sound good. Teen D is a problem, but it is TND at youtube.com/c/TD20. That's my second channel right now. It used to be just a backup channel where I posted reactions that couldn't go up on mine because I was in copyright limbo or other things were going wrong. But I've also posted the Jeremy from Escape from the Bloodkeep video there, and now I am posting fairly consistently character builds. And what I'm doing is I'm rolling for random stats, and then I'm building out a character to make them as strong and as interesting and as fun as I can make them. Some of them are really cool, some of them are less cool, all of them are very fun to make, and I'm having a really good time doing it. So if you want to check out some like long form, sort of experimental, randomized character builds, go and check me out. I'll link it in the description of this video, and I guess last week's video as well, so hopefully some people will find it. The main thing, the reason that I'm trying to shill this a little bit, I was just gonna let it sort of happen on its own, but I realized that there is a problem when you have a YouTube channel with a few thousand subscribers, which my side channel does, but most of those subscribers have subscribed to your anime reaction content, and suddenly you start posting D&D content. People don't like that very much, and more importantly, the YouTube algorithm doesn't like what that does to your viewership very much, because people click on the videos and then click away from them when they realize they're not an anime reaction. And also subscribers just see that you're posting new stuff that isn't their interest or in their wheelhouse, and they unsubscribe. So on each of my videos, it shows analytics, and it's like, yeah, you got negative 40 subscribers for posting this video. It's like, oh no. And so the algorithm doesn't send those videos to anybody else, because it's like, oh, everybody hates these videos. These suck. You're making different stuff and it sucks, so we're not going to show these to anybody. And so the videos aren't getting any views. Now, maybe they don't deserve views, and I'm not going to try to say that they definitely deserve viewership on their own. It's not how this works, but I would love to get some more eyes on them and get some more commenting on them, mostly so that I can have some discussions about these character builds, because I think I've hit some really interesting things. So let me tempt you very, very quickly with a couple of the things that I've built, because I think a couple of them are really cool. The first build that I did was a cool Blade Singer, pretty classic Blade Singer stuff, nothing too fancy. It's a big Blade Singer build. The second one was a really fun, foolish character. I'm not going to spoil anything else about them, but I called them the Accursed Fool, and I love them. I love them a lot. I also built a storyteller who is like a gruff, former soldier, mercenary veteran who tells stories as their bardic way of doing bardic inspiration, and also lying a lot and being a consummate liar, who lies about all the things that they've been through, but has kind of a heart of gold, and is built to be a character that a party can really center around, who really brings people together. I rolled starting gold, and I ended up with enough gold to buy like a cart and a donkey, so this is sort of a Don Quixote type character who goes around in their cart and a donkey and tells stories at bars in order to get enough money to keep drinking, and eventually gets wrapped up into something conflict-worthy and something interesting with their D&D campaign, and goes onward and discovers all their different abilities, and it was very, very fun to build. And then I will shout out my two favorites that I've done so far. I made a hyper-powered teleporting melee druid who is just unstoppable and deals really consistent, really strong damage every round. And you should check it out, because I'm really proud of it, and I think it's super cool. And then just last night, I posted a build of a wizard yo-yo healer who is a wizard with a cleric dip, I know, yada yada, who can, I think, effectively at level 2, yo-yo heal most of a party without using any actions or reactions or bonus actions on their turn. They're setting up a bunch of conditional things that create really cool effects that allow them to yo-yo heal, which is to get people up off the ground at any point during combat, while being a very effective solo healer on their own. I think it's really, really cool as a build idea, and I would love for you to check it out. And it scales immaculately into full wizard, with all the utility that brings and all the ritual casting that brings, as well as getting really, truly extraordinary at total character level 6, wizard level 5, because of a specific interaction with a specific 3rd level spell that you're going to have to go and watch the build to figure out. So, sorry, but go check it out, because I think you'll really like it, and I think it's really interesting. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find a flaw in it and tell me what that flaw is, and either I'll do a version 2 and I'll fix it and make it better, or I'll have to just errata it and be like, yeah, I guess it doesn't work. But I think it works. I think it works in every way, and so I'd love more people to talk to me about these builds and see if we can find a way to make them work. I've built a couple other things that I don't know if I'll post necessarily, because some of them have been really disappointing, and I'm thinking about how to make a thief rogue with using the fast hands feature, to make a character that relies significantly on equipment and thrown items and stuff, in order to get pretty significant damage per round, and also a bunch of utility from being a thief rogue. So I'm thinking about a bunch of different things, and they're all different. Oh yeah, I still haven't edited it, but the next one that will probably go up is I created a character that I view as, and my concept for it was creating an unstoppable force, a character that whatever the goal is, they go from point A to point B as fast as possible with nothing stopping them. Whether that's spells being slanged at them, or attacks being thrown at them, or creatures trying to grapple them, or lock them down, or restrain them, or entangle them, or put difficult terrain against them. Whatever it is, they want to get to the goal and finish the thing. Because I think in a lot of D&D combat encounters, If your DM is good at these, there will be a secondary goal besides just kill the thing. And we made a character that was very good at just killing the thing anyway, but I wanted to build a character that's really good at ignoring the combat situation, finding out what the goal is, going toward it, and solving the problem immediately. So, you know, that obelisk in the back of a room of skeletons, we're the one who's going to go to that instead of fighting the skeletons. We're going to go to that obelisk, figure out what's going on, destroy it or fix it or cast spells on it or do something to prevent it from doing the thing that it's doing. And that's really cool to me. And I built this unstoppable sort of rogue paladin thing that's really, really neat. And I think you'll like it and it'll go up soon. So, shilling done. I know it's been a couple of minutes of shilling, but I have to talk about this channel and what I've been doing on it because I think that y'all, the people who D&D and maybe anime and maybe like the way that I talk about things, might like to see me use my DM skills, which are not amazing, but use my DM skills and my knowledge of the books, which is equivalent to being able to Google stuff and search things on D&D Beyond very effectively, to create cool characters. And I don't think that they're optimal. I'm not trying to make them optimal, and I'm just trying to make them as cool as I can make them for fun, for my own purposes, because I do this on my own anyway, and so I just decided to start recording it, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. It's kind of like at the very beginning of this reaction channel, I discovered that I was sitting around watching anime and talking to myself throughout it and talking to the characters as they would do things. And so I was like, well, I might as well put a camera on this and see what happens and then talk about the show as well. And explosion of creativity occurred, and sort of the same thing is happening with these D&D characters. I think it's really fun, and I hope you do too. So go and check it out. I'll link it in the description. Thank you so much. As always, you can also support me on Patreon. That's cool. Likes, comments, subscribes. Those are cool. Let's watch Vox Machina. Yes, yes. Let's watch Vox Machina, please. So, I've already mentioned where we left off. Cassandra is bleeding out on the floor. Percy is staring in horror and anger as he sees this occur, and the rest of the party is rushing to catch up with Percy, who's gone ahead of them. Wonderful, a little bit different from the circumstance that we initially had in the campaign, but I'm okay with that, and I think you are too. So let's go ahead and give episode 8 of Legend of Vox Machina a good old watcheroo. As before, just a timer-based version, we're going to beep timer into it for a second, but I'm going to spend a moment blowing my nose. Yeah. All right, let's get going. So, I've got Vox Machina Vox Machina 8 up and ready to go. There will be a beep timer to count you down, and it's coming at you right now. Let's get straight into it. Ah! Ooh, that's a weird warp. Oh! Cool impact frame. Oop, we're back. Weirdy warpy place. Everlight. I hope we actually get to see her. Whoa. The darkness. Run, Pikey! Run, Pickle! It's not working. Yeah, we know. Okay. We try now. Yeah! Let's go, Pickle! Fuck you. Sick. I will channel it anyway. And this is to go even further beyond. It's questionable. Oof. Oof. Leave me. Very well. That seems irresponsible. This could kill you. Okay, we'll just leave and let you try it on your own. Once more into the breach, Pike. OP. So dope. Good job, Pike. I love Pike. I love the Everlight, too. Ugh. Dark Percy. Walking Percy. Oh. Woo. Ah, it's doing something to me. It's wormed its way inside my brain. It's got an emotional connection now. They did the thing. They got me. I'm now hard biased toward this show. I recognize that it has so many flaws. Shing. Oh, Percy. Of course. Why? Healing, 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 healing. You don't have cure wounds prepared? What? What? It's more realistic anyway. Ugh. 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 You can do this. I believe in you. Oh, this fucker. He's just chilling. Just chilling, having a drink. Like, he realized he's gonna die, right? Whoa! Whoa, Anders has some warpy shit. Oh, I love the quick reloader. Oh, yeah. Ooh, the mask. Damn, Anders is kind of scary. Not that scary. Get wrecked, Anders. He's still talking? You still fucking talking? Oh. Oh, these are the helmed horrors. Okay. Or animated armors, I suppose, but they're helmed horrors. Yeah, no. Ooh, very cool fight scene. Ooh, very neat. My turn. That's action surge. Nothing. Yep. Dink. Hey, nice catch. Fuck off. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, Grog. Oh my Grog. They learned. They learned. They're not shooting anybody now. You can't pin Vex down. Yeah. Fuck off. Shooting it. Oh, fuck you, dude. That's bullshit. Amazing. Amazing. And I'm not throwing away my shot. Again, fight scenes from second one, and they look cool. Just being a jerk and making commands. All of them. Yay. Yay. Nice. Not nice. Not nice at all. Oh, we did it. That was so good. That was so fucking good. They got the timing just right. Hi. Yeah, okay, you've lost a lot of blood. You're still gonna pass out. Go, Kiki. Ooh, very Kiki. Nope, no, Kiki. Good try. Gurg. Yep, counting is good. Yep, you can do it, buddy. Very smart. What's with his tongue? I guess he was a bard, right? Oh, hey. Right inside. Pew pew pew. Oh, Hail of Thorns? Maybe. Good job. All right, and the game changes. And he still seems fine with this. I've got it. I'm already mad. Dink. Okay. Wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, you got it, Grog. Fuck. Right, of course. Gotta love a wisdom save. Eh? I'd rather not. Uh-oh. Especially given how much we've seen Grog be a problem. We start with this one. Oh, stop it. Pike! You can do it, Pikey! Oh! 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 You're channeling something bad now. The answer is hidden. Shrouded in secrets. Ooh, what a cool. Oh, yeah. Wait, is this Smash? Sorry. Coming to Smash Bros. Ultimate. Do we get to see her? Whoosh. Everlight. Damn right it is. Yes, we get to see her. Okay. Hi, Lost. I'm the Everlight. That's such a cool image, dude. What the fuck? Right. Burn. In glorious fire. I love what we're doing with Pike. I've got such chills all the way up and down. Woo! I do love that. The synchro speak. Go, Kiki. Nope. Dispel magic. Oh, God. His range is far. Shoot the bard. Shoot the Anders. Shoot it. Shoot him with your gun. Oh, what did she wrap around that? Ooh, strings. Oh, God, Kiki. Oh, God, Kiki. It's so scary to fight Grog. It's so fucking scary. Nope. Ow. Yes. Yes. Hey. Snack attack. Nothing. It's cool. Well. Kill them faster! Fight him, yes! Fight the fucking asshole! Blah. God damn it. Vex, you should have a wisdom save. Okay, you just dropped concentration on the first one, dog. And I know how this works. That doesn't work. Oh, he's got them all. Percy! Percy? Percy, guns? God, that's scary. Percy! What she's doing right now. Oh, I love it. I love it. Talk it through. Yeah. Think it, think it, think it, think it. It might. Let's fucking go! Oh! Oh, fuck you. Ricochet! Wow, through the mouth. Wow. Cutting out his silvered tongue now. Yep, and the tongue falls. Oh! Oh, that spray of blood is so cool. Hey, buddy, your eyes are weird. Oh, look at it go. I love Liam. Gah! Good job. Hey. Hey, buddy. Yeah, you're gonna bleed out from that. You don't have a tongue. Oh, the mask is on. Oh, I love that line so much. I love that line so fucking much. Oh, these impact frames throughout the episode have been so sick. Wow. Straight into the rotunda, pretty classic. And another name burns off the list. Percy? Hi, Cass. See what I've become? And he drops it all for her. Ooh, so many little things. Fuck you. There were soldiers. Useful hostage. Who's that voice actress? Her RP is really nice. Received pronunciation, British accent. Again. Alright, that's too many. That's too many. I'm not gonna reveal anything, but that's too many. That's fucked up. No, they fucked it up. They fucked it up, dude. Mm. Mm. Ah. Yes, Grog. Oh. Because the planes become thin? Ooh, Skyrite! Finally! Whoosh, kapow! Whoosh-diddy douche. Yeah, you have. It's useless, though, otherwise. But you found a use for the useless spell. Good job, Kiki. The Torolo crest. The bat signal. Yeah. Oh, shit. Kiki can do that? Torolo crest. Oh, ah, the sign we needed. It begins. Ooh, it begins. Deep and dark down below, where lots of residuum glows. Oh, God. I need some blood. And the book. And the circle. Ooh, how much are we gonna get to see? How much are we gonna get to see? Oh, hi, homie. That was a short incantation, Delilah. Never mind. Ew. Ew. I don't know what that did. Uh-oh. Ow. More zombos? More Skullingtons? End? No. Oh, we're in Pikey Place. She has to fight her own. No, she's not! Let's go. She can do it, she can do it, she can do it. To yourselves. Ah, hi, the actual Everlight, but it's Pike now? Whoa. Whoa. I? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Is it? Is it wrong? Mistakes, mistakes. Assumptions, assumptions. You are always connected. Oh, hi. Ooh. I'm a friend. That's gotta be end, right? Oh my god, there's still more! Ah! God damn it, Scanlan. Oh, hey. Fucking A right. Oh no. Ooh, getting it on. Oh, oh god, Scanlan. Oh, real wet over there. Real, ugh. More of that. Oh, those are CG. It's all the zombies. Yep. Ah, reflections in puddles. They saw the signal. Hey, guys, zombies. Oh, shit. A whorehouse? Yep. Uh, bones. And giants? Oh boy. Through the Derola crest. So sick. Ah! Okay, I think it's my favorite episode so far by like a long margin, a solid margin. This is my favorite episode so far. Wow! Oh, it's so fucking. Oh, a silver tongue. Oh, I guess maybe he's an eloquence bard or something like that. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. He's a dickhead, is what he is, and now he's a dead dickhead, and that's even better. Oh, I accidentally skipped ahead just because I hit a scroll wheel button. Excuse me. I apologize for that, but we were at the end anyway. Great. So I said it as we were heading out of the episode, but I think this is easily my favorite so far. From the Pike stuff, which I think is extraordinary and had me actually, truly, and genuinely enthralled, because we never see this stuff at all in the campaign. We never get to experience it or get Matt to describe it, really. Not here. Maybe later, some things we do, but it's incredible. It's so good. The fight scenes I thought were actually next level in this episode. I thought they were way better, and there were way more of them, and they were really good. And the interactions between the characters and all the things that I've liked about the fight scenes, the way that they feel D&D-ish and complicated, and like there are multiple solutions to the thing, and figuring out what our characters want to do is part of the purpose. Fantastic. But it's the Pike stuff that really gets to me, absolutely. There were also multiple elements of like really cool flashing light moments of impact frames that create huge bursts of energy or like timing or whatever you want to call it. They create an impact with the impact frame, as you might expect. And I think they were fan-freaking-tastic. Overall, I think this is pretty easily my favorite episode, and part of it is that it doesn't feel like anything is left to explain right now, really. It's just go, go, go now, and all the pieces have come together in my mind. Another part of it is that finally the show, I think, has just wormed its way into the back of my mind and gained an emotional attachment or an emotional connection inside my brain, because I feel something toward the show, toward the OP, toward the music, toward the feel, toward the vibe, toward the way the characters look that I didn't feel before. And it's not necessarily something that's explicitly there in the show that I can point to and be like, this better than before. It's in me. It's a change in me that I can't show you. I can only tell you about it and hope that you believe me when I tell you that something has changed. Maybe not in the show itself, but in my relationship to it. And that's still very, very cool. Light and mercy cleanse the soul. Light and mercy cleanse the soul. Poof, and you're here once more. Yeah, so here's our first impacty framey moment. I do want to just flash through it because I think there are some great, cool things. She opens her eyes, golden glow. Poof, poof, poof. And then there's more. Yeah, so it's two. And then we zoom straight in and zoom straight out. That's well done. Goof, goof, poof. Yeah, if we look through that and we're like thinking about what happens, the candles come in, bring our attention to her eyes. Her eyes glow up as she goes up. Explode, flash, and then zoom in, zoom out. Oh, that's really quite clever and really well done. And it is darkness and thorns that come and envelop our Pike. Too much power for you, but she will not stop. She will not stop. The connection is questionable, but she doesn't question it. We get our OP. It's super dope. It's the same OP. We've talked about it before. And we're in it. We're in the moment we expected. The slice, Percy's horror, Cassandra dying, the emotions, and Keyleth runs in and tries to save her. All right, so spit and herbs and goop and stuff and trying. And this motherfucker, again, you want villains who feel villainous? Have them just pour themselves a fucking drink while they're gloating about having murdered your sister. So sick. It's so fucked up, but so sick. Now, I didn't really realize what kinds of powers he had, because, again, in the main campaign, he doesn't have all these powers, but Percy, a second flash. This is another one that's so cool. First off, I really liked this face from Percy. I think they put a lot of effort into it. They drawn lines and shadows in his face, and also the thick and variant line work on the outside, as well as accenting his glasses, creates this rage face that's really solid as a character expression. It's not exactly character animation, but it is a single expression that matters a lot. Sideways gun goes sideways, smoke mists off of him just very slightly for just a frame, if you catch it. Right here, smoke mists off of him, flash, fire, woof, like multiple stages, like a fire going up, like gasoline igniting, woof, and then it's gone, and he fires. And it does nothing to Anders. Anders just starts warping and leaping around and disappearing and exploding. I guess he wasn't drinking that thing. It was instead like a potion of exploding smoke or something. Who knows? But we move into the main combat area for our moment. I've always loved, and I talk about it all the time, just as a framing device, I love open doorways with light behind the doorway and a character in the doorway and a dark, long shadow. I think it's really cool, and it is especially important for Percival because shadows, right? Okay, so he talks, and we get this sort of a classic, like, ooh, you tracked me into the museum, and there are all these weird and creepy objects around, but I'm hiding somewhere, sort of a scene. Classic in horror movies, classic in, like, spy movies, classic even in action movies, that there's this moment where you're in a room and you don't know where the enemy is, and you're just, like, or in a parking garage and you're hiding behind cars. You know this moment, and we're pulling that moment here, and it resonates really effectively. So, he leaps out of nowhere, woof, and he's got some new skillage. And I think that it looks really good. The way he's swinging at him, the way he's like dodging creepily, weirdly with his tiny legs and his big torso, dodging out of the way of bullets and swinging around with his sword. It's really, really awesome. It's action-packed. And Percy actually fights. So Percy wouldn't be able to do this, I don't think. He doesn't have the strength score to do it. But he does get beaten in it eventually, so whatever. It doesn't matter. Giving me some rewards. I don't know what the fuck the tongue thing is. I really don't know what the fuck the tongue thing is. It's not an eye. And it's not a hand. It's a tongue. It's a weird silver tongue. I don't know that that was a thing in the campaign, and I know that that's not a thing in the PHB or the DMG. There's no silver tongue item that you can give to somebody to give them powers. But I like it. It's fucking crazy. Rise, armor of old, and greet our guests. I believe that this occurred in the campaign in the main room when Vax ran in and did a thing and threw a knife at Anders, and Anders killed Cassandra, or sliced Cassandra's throat and had her bleeding out. And then we just immediately had these helmed horrors in the room attacking. In this case, they feel more like they're animated armors than they are helmed horrors, which is totally fine. They're kind of the same thing. But helmed horrors can float and fly, and animated armor can't, I'm pretty sure. So he animates some animated armors, and thus the fight scene begins. They begin closing in. I think they look really good. And I think that the scenes of this stuff, where Percy is flipping and jumping and moving out of the way, and the way that they animate his cloak, his overcoat fluttering or following behind him, is like a cape fluttering behind him, or a scarf, or something else in that vein. It just gives them more smooth and swooshy movement to follow up on his movement, and makes everything look way better as they do so. And I think that's wonderbar. Stuff like that, where the armor swings around. I think these cuts are impressive to me because we've got multiple characters interacting in three-dimensional space, choreographed, obviously, and then they're, like, switching places in that space. The dance that they're doing is really complicated, and I think that it's some of the most impressive, maybe not animation specifically, but maybe storyboarding and layouts and composition and putting these things together to make this scene feel right. It starts here, and it just keeps getting better throughout the episode. It's there through all of the Grog fight scenes. It's there through all of the Percy versus animated armor fight scenes. It's really cool how they're moving past each other, and ducking and weaving and dodging. And I think it's really awesome. Like sliding between its legs, moving over this way. I'll also say that I think there's been an improvement to the way that the movement flows from frame to frame or shot to shot. So we're in one scene. The scene is Anders plus armors versus Percy. That's our scene. And then our individual shots of that scene are Percy, for example, Percy sees armor coming in on him. Short close-up of Percy that swings out into a wide of Percy with the gun, firing it. Shot here. shot here, shot here, shot here. So he moves to the right of our frame and then comes in through the left of our frame, jumping upward at the same angle. Then he moves around this thing, sweep, sweep, sweep around, and then off to our left of frame, and then from right frame toward left frame is ducking and diving underneath that one's arm, and then from that scene to the next scene, or from that cut to the next cut, that shot to the next shot, he's moving the same direction in the same way. There's this flow and fluidity to the way that action scene goes into action scene, and that frame goes into frame, that helps us track the character across the screen and feel like the entire combat is fluid, and I think it's really well done, and it's the best that we've had in the show so far. Lots of shows don't come anywhere near doing this well at this particular thing. I don't know if we've got a different episode director or what's going on or who AD'd this or what is happening that makes this work, but it really, really works for me, and I think it makes the action scenes feel really cool. Interparty conflict. I love how this comes up in this combat. This revenge is mine. Not if you're dead, dumbass. Also, there is a cat meowing outside. I'm gonna go let her outside, I guess. She shouldn't go outside, but I'm going to anyway. Okay, cat is outside, so no longer an angry cat or a sad cat. Very good. This revenge is mine, not if you're dead. I think this is a perfect establishment of the dynamic and conflict between these characters at the moment. Vax is basically trying to keep the group together and is not letting Percy run off and get himself killed. It's a weird reversal on the way that the party was really working at this point, which is Vax was going and getting himself killed a lot, but it still tracks, and it's interesting, and it's part of the maturity of these characters as they start to grow. We're in this shit together. And indeed we are. And then we get into this fight, and it's awesome. So, Grog stuff, we hide him behind this pillar, right? Which we established earlier, it's the pillar of stone that Keyleth popped up to give Vex a cool shot, right? So, there's some consistency across episodes, and I think that's really nice. Grog is a monster, and we actually do a really good job, I think, in this episode, before he gets charmed, indicating to us just how scary Grog really fucking is. And I think it's hard to explain to you just how fucking terrifying Grog is for something like this right now. If you don't fully understand Raging Barbarians, but Grog is a full-classed Raging Barbarian with almost double the hit points of any of his party members because his con modifier is great. He's got the Belt of Dwarven Kind. I guess he doesn't at this point because he doesn't have a beard, so he doesn't have that yet. Okay. Still, in game, or in show, we've watched Grog murder some shit a bunch and take a bunch of arrows and keep going, and he is very scary. If you want to see Grog in combat against his party, you can do that. There's it's not really a one-shot, there's a PvP battle arena thing that happens. The first one, I think, is the most interesting. I think the level 21 isn't that interesting because it's just like, well, Keyleth is gonna win this, probably. But the first one that they do is really interesting, and Grog is goddamned terrifying. He is such a fucking problem. I guess at this point, Grog doesn't have Mindless Rage, which is odd, because I'm going to look up the subclass feature. Hold on. Right, so he's a Path of the Berserker Barbarian. Beginning at 6th level, you can't be charmed or frightened while raging. I think he should have that at this moment, so that's a little bit weird. He should have Mindless Rage. Beginning at 6th level, you can't be charmed or frightened while raging. If you're charmed or frightened when you enter your rage, the effect is suspended for the duration of the rage, which most cases, and I think Matt has let Travis do this, if he is charmed or frightened, he lets him go into a rage and then he can end it, which is really cool. But it doesn't happen here, and that's okay. So we go ahead and we establish how scary Grog is by having him smash 2 random soldiers together to teach them a lesson. Not to shoot my friends. And we get a weird flirtation between one random guard guy and Vex, which is weird. And so she splits an arrow and shoots him in the head. Sick. That's how you deal with people who flirt with you. Good job, Vex. You did it. All right, homies, we're all good, and we rush in to find that Vax and Percy need some help. Once again, I think these scenes are really cool. Rolling in together, and then this big poof, cow, and then the big slow-mo split as they leap away from each other is wonderful. Which one can I kill? Any of them. And then we have this scene with Keyleth, which I think is actually amazing. We watch all this beautiful magic happen, and it's like, oh, she's totally got it, right? And then nothing happens. And this is like a solid jump scare in a weird way.
Cassandra?
No, 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 it can't be. So cute that we get a scream at each other moment, which is one of my favorite, like, funny ways to break attention, is to have two characters just be like, ah, and they were both freaking each other out. Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to fuck with you. You're alive, just chill. Okay, I'm gonna go. And we get a really cool Keyleth moment. I think Keyleth really shines in this episode in some really cool ways. The important healing is great. Again, the pillar that she had created before is great. But this moment where she leap runs into Minxie, and they do a full warp into it, I thought that they were going to hide it behind this foreground object, which is Vex. But they don't. They have Keyleth instead do a full leap into Forepaws and become Minxie, and then do a cool 3D shot as she does. It doesn't do much, but it's awesome. And clang, clang, I love 1, 3, 11! Oh, the letters! So Grog, so very good. Our bullets do nothing. Our attacks do nothing. Hail of Thorns does nothing. But I figured out something. Oh, the slats. It's got holes in it. And a classic shing, 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 ding, ding, dink, dun, dun, dun. Hello. And he charms Grog. This is so scary. I love Grog voice and Anders voice together. I hate it, which is why I love it. And Grog being so scary is so fucking scary. Okay, bad juju, bad scary juju, bad scary juju. No, not Delilah. Big jump scare. All right, we got a frame by frame. Oh, we can see it. We can see it. Oh. It's so weird to find it because it's just like still. So I'm just going to frame by frame from here. Voof, 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 voof. A skull. 3 eyes. Who could that be? Well, I know who that is, but you might not. You might not be familiar with classic D&D villains. Or the gods, or anything like that. But shit gets crazy here. Warped and twisted, flying up in the air Exorcist style, the candles burning bright. This is so cool. This is so cool. All of this stuff is so fucking neat. Getting trapped and destroyed and pulled down Everlight. And we hold. And we wait. And a little shimmering glimmer bursts into existence as the Smash Ultimate symbol. Welcome to Smash Ultimate. Now, new fighter, Delilah Briarwood. The demonetized. I don't monetize, so it doesn't matter. The corona of light around this thing, and the man. You want to instill the power of the gods into your show? I think they did it. I really do. It's so cool. You heard me? Of course. Now, this is not how I envisioned the Everlight. I envisioned her as visible and then burning from within, not enveloped in flame from without. But I love this vision of the Everlight. I think it's really cool. And I think that when we take our step back and move away from it, and we show it in the distance here with the hair blowing in its own flaming wind, I think it's a really cool effect that they've created. It's pretty simple. I understand that it's pretty simple, just using some effects generators and some literal generators of some fire stuff that they've messed with to make this look good. Big bright circle. I don't care. I think it's awesome, and it does something to my soul. We have our conversation with Pike, and we snap back and forth, back and forth. More cool combat things. More, oh shit, what do we do? Grog is actually seriously a problem. I love this little moment. Again, it's a Keyleth moment. She leaps on top of fucking Grog. Keyleth leaps on top of fucking Grog and uses vines to get his weapon away? Crazy. But Grog is a problem. Yeah, stabbed, doesn't matter. Indicates that if Vax and Grog actually fought, it would be a problem. Vax trying to acrobatics his way away from Grog all the time. Really cool. Let's stop wasting our time. Blah, 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 blah. And he charms them all. Every single one except for Parseval de Rollo. Watch your friends kill you. blank expressions. And they all go after him, and we do this really cool sort of combo attack, but it's not as good as their other combo attacks because it's Anders controlling them instead of all of them. It's so cool, and they don't really want to. Yes, 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 blah, blah. Cultivated mind needs time to think, and he's just stalling. That's okay. You've given me all the time.
Yet it bought me all the time I needed.
Okay. Just this. I think the power of this, to me, comes from the number of big, flashy, explodey, like the last time that Percy got really angry and lifted his gun, there was an explosion of fire around him, and he was just whoosh, right? This time, it's cold.
Me all the time I needed.
Calculated. A rotating light and these sparks of darkness. And this sort of like clang, like something clicking into place or a hammer firing inside the gun as it all locks together.
All the time I needed.
Blam! Slow-mo, dink, 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 through the mouth, through the fucking tongue. So sick, so gory, so awful. Drops the thing. I love the spray of blood behind him. It honestly, it looks like the Paradox logo from Paradox Games, just saying. Your eyes are still weird. And they're just going after the tongue. Oh, it's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know. Stab it with the But he goes up. You are our teacher. We trusted you. And my favorite line up to this point, I think, from Percy.
Betrayed us when we needed you most.
You're the face I saw when murder entered my heart.
I saw when murder entered my heart.
Actual at-table line by Taliesin Jaffe. What the fuck, man? Did he think about it beforehand? Did he come up with it now? I don't know. Does it matter? No, it's the most badass line from Percival. It's so sick. It's up there with, your soul is forfeit. But,
Why is the smoke?
yeah, guys, Percy be smoking. So dramatic. Maybe over dramatic, but I don't give a fuck. And he sees Cassandra, and all of the guys drops away from him, and he's back to himself.
I think
Okay.
she's going to be okay.
So, I don't want to make too much of a thing about it.
Come on.
The little eye move, and then there's a second one a little bit later. It's a little on the nose, guys.
Come back.
I thought you'd come back to check. Why? You were fucking dead, dude.
Information.
We don't need to run away anymore. We're together. And she does a little eye thing again. Okay. Sure. It's a little too on the nose. Alright, so the tongue was the only thing he had. We found a weird star chart. Something's going on at the solstice. Set it all up. And Keyleth gets to do Skywrite. This is a core element of, actually, their takeover of Whitestone and the rebellion. It's really important that she does this, and it's a cool use of a spell that most people write off as being utterly worthless, and it still is. It still is almost worthless. But she found a really cool use for it, and it's actually super sick, and they make it feel and look really sick here. Really good. Of course, Delilah not happy. Delilah do blood ritual. Why Delilah do blood ritual? I don't know. Is blood ritual what make skeletons? I don't know. But she does say something, one thing that's really important, which is she says to protect you. And it gives us an indication of her actual reasons for doing things, which is cool. Also, more flashy lights. Creepy. And skeletons. And back to Pickle. Oh man, this whole sequence where she is wreathed in flame and is burning away. It's all because of a lie that you told herself. And she reflects as the Everlight. And you see yourself in her. And Pike feels guilt for her care for her friends and for her love of drink and violence. But it's her own guilt that is separating her from her faith. It's not the faith itself. There is no meaning, no reason that she can't be. I'm like almost on the edge of tears here. It's so beautiful. There's no reason that she can't be aligned with her faith, with her love of redemption, with her love of the Everlight, which is what the fire of the Everlight, a redeeming goddess who is giving her the chance for redemption now. There's no reason that she can't pursue her friendship and her allies and her goddess at the same time. It's such a sick character conflict that they put into Pike here, and it sets up for some of the coolest shit in the entire campaign come next episode. They're why you cut me off, right? Because I was with my friends and drinking and being violent? No, Pike. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Choose. Any path can be a holy one. Just walk it. You can be whatever you want to be. Who are you? And with tears in her eyes, we switch to some funny Scanlan stuff, which is great. You see the thing, the joke is good, and we end off with the Horde incoming. So fucking sick. There are so many things in this episode that I love. It's so easily my favorite episode so far. It's so good. They nailed so many things, and they added so many things, and the things that they added were all good. None of the things that they added felt weird or bad or wrong to me. Anders being a serious threat, I love because it sets up more of an emotional stake in his portion of the arc. Keyleth doing the Dorolo crest is actually really cool. The Pike stuff is some of my favorite shit that we've had in the show, period, and it's new content, and that's crazy. That's crazy that there's genuinely fully new content that is some of my favorite content in the show so far. I did not think that would be the case. I love this episode. I rate 8 out of 8. I rate 8 out of 8. I don't know what to do. I love it. I don't think I need to convince you that it's good or that you should think the same thing. If you do or don't, let me know in the comments. I'd love to be disagreed with on this if you have disagreements or things in this episode that you found were weird. I'd also love if you would if you agree with me, and if there are things in this episode that what did I just do? Okay, I clicked a weird button that I've never clicked before, and that did a weird thing. Okay. If there are things in this episode that you don't like, tell me. If there are other things in this episode that I missed, talk to me about them. I'd love to see that stuff or hear your thoughts. And we're going to kind of wrap up there. So, thank you for watching this episode of Vox Machina with me. It's been wonderful, and I really enjoyed it, and I hope you do too. Or did too, and I hope I'll catch you next week to watch some more. Support the channel on the Patreon for early access to this and other shows. Check that out. Go check out the second channel where I'm posting D&D builds. It's super fun, and I hope you'll check it out. I think it would be great to have more viewership there, of course, and also more discussion on those videos because I think they're fun and interesting, and there's a lot to talk about in them. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week for more Legend of Vox Machina. Appreciate you all. Love you all. See you next week. And is it Friday yet? No. Well, yes, it's technically Friday right now, but it will be Friday again in 7 days. But you know what I mean. See you next week. Peace.